But at this moment, Justice Secretary Michael Gove, have you heard that name? He was expected to back Boris Johnson in his campaign, along with Home Secretary Theresa May. Those two are leading the five-way race to be the next Conservative Party leader. What are they saying in Brussels about this and the UK exit? Forget the UK. Should this be a wake-up call for the European Union? Joining me now from Brussels, the former ambassador to Belgium and former President Obama 2008 campaign staff member, Ambassador Howard Gutman. Ambassador, look, this had to be a wake-up call for the European Union. They can't just say goodbye to the UK, fine, you guys made your decision. It had to have been a big warning that there are agitators in every country who may want to break up the European Union. Has the EU learned anything from this?
Well, they've certainly gotten a wake-up call. It's sort of a little bit like the Republican Party and Donald Trump. They see it happening but don't think it'll ever happen to them. And then they woke up and found out it happened to them. So there were signs in Hungary, in Poland, and in Austria. But still, when I was on the streets of Brussels the day before, they said never will happen. Well, it's now happened. Now the question is how to pick up the pieces.
Well, yeah, Austria, they now have their campaign to exit called Outstria. I mean, who knows if that'll gain any traction, but there's some disturbing things about the European Union that upset people who even like the trade with that trading bloc, and that is that there's a lot of excess there. There's a lot of bureaucracy, and they tend not to reflect what the people of the European Union perhaps really think and want. I mean, we were seeing a stunning stat that there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are at the European Union who were getting paid more than David Cameron, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. We have bloated salaries. We've got, skyscrapers that are a little excessive there. What are they going to do to make sure that they remain cohesive as a unit?
Yeah, but it's not bloated bureaucracy. That's perhaps a symptom.
You sure?
This was just the populist movement. Yeah, this is the populist movement. It always feels good to say, to heck with the boss, and then when there's no job, you say, wait a minute, I didn't really mean to heck with the boss and I want to be unemployed. I just wanted to yell to heck with the boss, and now I'm out of work. So I think, sure, could there be course corrections at the EU? But if you want to see bloated administrations, the individual countries have bloated administrations as well.
True.
But that wasn't the issue. The issue is this, let's have an uprising, let's all rally, but we didn't really mean it. Well, now they've done it. What's going to happen about it?
Well, you told Conall McShane yesterday right here on this network Brexit won't happen. I don't know how you're sure that's actually the case. I know it was non-binding, but we have Theresa May, who came out today. She's the Interior Minister and one of the leading candidates of the Conservative Party. She was with Remain, but she said in a speech, look, Brexit means Brexit. So we hear you, and that's got to be the way of the people, but we've got to figure out how to fill the void of trade that may, at least temporarily, affect people of the United Kingdom.
It may have gotten closer today with Theresa May as opposed to Boris Johnson, but still, let's look at the actual facts. David Cameron said Brexit means Brexit, but my successor needs to do it, and what if I leave in October, this being June? Boris Johnson said, yes, I know I'm going to be the successor. He thought he would be. Brexit means Brexit. How about a year from now? So I suspect Johnson's hope was there would get to be an election, and ultimately democracy would prevail, but the Remain vote would not remain or exit, but exactly who's going to run, ultimately a failure of confidence in the government, and ultimately a state candidate would get elected. But Boris Johnson had a funny thing happen on the way to the prime ministership. He got blindsided by Michael Gove. He got blindsided by the people of the UK who said, we blame you for where we are now, and he's gone into hiding.
I'll tell you something. You got to be surprised that he was, you say blindsided. Some people are calling it a stabbing in the back by his right-hand guy when it came to the Leave campaign. It's fascinating. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.